guys, it's Michelle from Our Everyday Places, and today I am talking Hollywood Studios. We rope dropped this park because all of the recommendations said to do so, and honestly, I'm glad that we did. We were there at 8:15 in a long line in the hot sun, waiting to rope drop this park. I have never rope dropped before, and yeah, it was quite an interesting experience between feeling like you're gonna get trampled over and just excited to be at Disney World. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Let me begin by saying we did purchase the Genie Plus Lightning Lane situation because there was no way that we would have seen everything that we did get to ride. So we had to go on our phones really quick while in line and purchase Rise of the Resistance because that was the only way that we were going to ride Rise that day. So yes, I will talk a bit about Rise of the Resistance because we did get to see that ride, so stay tuned. All right, so one of the first rides that we did was the Millennium Falcon ride. My son has become a Star Wars fan, so we did Millennium Falcon. Interestingly enough, I think this ride could possibly be kid-friendly. Now, this ride does have a height requirement. However, my 4-year-old met the requirement, so she went on the ride with all 4 of us, and we thoroughly enjoyed the ride. Each person in our family had a role to play. So my husband and my son were the pilots. They did a great job piloting this ride. My daughter and I were the gunners, so we were just shooting everybody, making sure no one came and took over the spaceship, I guess. And then we had 2 people who we did not know join our ride, and they were the engineers and something. Was it 2 engineers? I can't remember. Anyway, so everyone has a different role to play, and I think that's really what helped this ride to be one of our favorites. When we look back on the whole day, we all say, oh, we love the Millennium Falcon ride. So if your child is a Star Wars fan, or if you are a Star Wars fan, I thoroughly recommend this ride. Apparently, there are all different types of alternate endings to this ride based on how you fly the vehicle, how you pilot the plane. So if you're really good at it, like actually you try to fly the thing, then you can come out doing really well. But if you're not a good pilot, the spaceship will crash multiple times. So go in it feeling like you're gonna do your best, and you'll have a great time with this ride. I will also say that if you have a Star Wars fan on your hands, this area of Hollywood Studios is really cool to walk around and look at. It's super immersive. The spaceships, whatever they're called, they're all over the place. So like the Millennium Falcon, a replica, is right there. You have the characters, Chewbacca walking out, the stormtroopers walk around. So it's a very immersive land, and it's definitely worth a visit. Now, since we didn't get a Rise of the Resistance Lightning Lane until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we had to fill our day with other rides. And since we were right there in Galaxy's Edge, we went to Star Tours. Star Tours is another one of these simulated rides. So another one where you get into the spacecraft. For those who like Star Wars, I'm so sorry, forgive me. I am a budding Star Wars fan because of my son, so I may not have the terminology right, okay? But anyway, you get into like a simulated spacecraft, and yeah, like the robot R2-D2 gets out of the ship, and you are left on your own to pilot this thing. And you don't actually pilot it, but like, yeah, it takes you all over the place, and you crash, and you're trying to get away from Darth Vader, and my son loved it. We enjoyed the ride too, but if I had to compare the two, I personally like the Millennium Falcon's Smuggler's Run ride a little bit better. Hi. Because we had more of, we had, Kaya. Anyway, as I was saying, I personally like the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run videos.
Millennium Falcon was fun.
I agree. Millennium Falcon was fun. I liked it because you had a role to play, so everyone had a job to do.
And the train ride was fun.
What train ride, honey?
And the choo-choo train. It was so funny.
Oh, you're talking about Minnie and Mickey's. That one's next. All right, so moving on to Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railway. This was one of our favorite rides, in my opinion. It was definitely one of mine. I love that it was like the trackless system, so you get in and it's Minnie and Mickey and all of like the fun Disney characters. So Daisy's in it, Donald, Goofy, Pluto. You just kind of ride all around and like the train's gone mad pretty much. So you go to like all these different scenes and it's twists and turns, but it's a really fun, cute ride. It's one of the newest rides there, if not the newest ride. And it's very kid friendly. My kids enjoyed it. We loved it. It's a great family ride and I would suggest you try it out. Another ride that we went on was the Alien Swirling Saucers ride, which is found in Toy Story Land. This ride is your quintessential spinny ride. So if you've ever been on the teacups at Magic Kingdom, it's very similar to that, but it has a Toy Story theme. So each little booth, I guess you could say, is the aliens from Toy Story, and it's just spinning all different ways. They say if you're prone to like motion sickness or, you get a little bit dizzy or nauseous with spinny rides, this may not be a ride for you, but we loved it. I was in the little booth with my son and we were just laughing and giggling the whole time. And it's definitely a kid-friendly ride, so check it out if you have little ones. While in Toy Story Land, we walked over to Toy Story Mania because I could get a Lightning Lane time for that ride. And let me tell you something, this ride reminded us so much of the Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger ride over in Magic Kingdom. And there is a strict super rivalry in my family of who's going to win that ride, who's going to shoot up the most things. And I will have you know that I am the queen of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger. Like, I win religiously. For the past few years we've been going, I come out on top. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. However, the queen has been dethroned because my husband and my son won this round. It was so much fun. You put on 3D glasses and you kind of spin around and shoot at different targets. And the key to this, there is a key. You want to look in the not so obvious places. You got to look in your peripherals. So the tops in the corners, the bottoms in the corners, that's where the big numbers are going to be. I have no idea how my husband and my son beat me in this. In fact, I don't really want to talk about it. Because I always win and I did not win this time around. But we're definitely going back for a rematch. So one of my tips for Hollywood Studios is to take advantage of their live shows that they have going on, especially in the summer when it's super hot and you just need a break between the hot sun walking around and waiting in lines. So they have several of these fun sit down, some of them are air conditioned, live shows. Of these 5 shows, we saw 3. Frozen sing-along, my daughter loved. She was standing up, screaming her head off, let it go, let it go. And we almost fell asleep, my husband and I, because it was air conditioned and we were relaxing while our kids were having fun. Disney Junior's Play and Dance was very cute. You come on in, you sit on the floor. All of the fun Disney Junior characters come out on stage. So you get to see Vampirina, Doc McStuffins, Mickey came out in his little road racer costume. It was so cute. And a lot of the characters come out. They give you super cool dance moves to do. And it's air conditioned. You can sit back. Your kids get some energy out. This is a great one to check out with toddlers who have been sitting in a stroller all day. So they can get out, move around, and just have a bunch of fun. The other show that we caught was Indiana Jones's live spectacular stunt show. Pretty much you see how the filming process is behind the scenes of an action movie. So you see how, the explosives and the stunts are all done. It was such a fun show to watch. We enjoyed watching airplanes blow up and, explosions and fighting and all of that stuff behind the scenes. This show is 30 minutes long. It's about 30 minutes. So if your child is not interested in that kind of thing and they have a short attention span, maybe just come and try it out. And if you need to leave early, That's totally fine. Now moving on to Rise of the Resistance. This ride we paid extra for. It's one of those individual lightning lane rides. So in total, I think we paid $20 extra per person to check out this ride. Even though you have a lightning lane, it doesn't mean you're going to walk onto the ride. Or at least the day that we went, we waited in the hot sun for at least 20 minutes just to get into, you know, the out of the sun part, right? Now, this ride is notorious for breaking down. And I mean, not just once throughout the day, multiple times, which is what happened to us. It broke down a total of 3 times while we were in the ride. Okay, in between scenes, in between vehicles, the thing was just constantly breaking down. We had to sit down like in where the stormtroopers are because we couldn't get on the other thing that took us to the other thing. It was a mess, okay? And honestly, for me, this truly did kind of ruin my experience with the ride. I know everyone says this is the best ride in Disney World. For me, it's a bit testy. I think I would have to go back and experience it start to finish without any interruptions. So for me, while I can appreciate all of the engineering that went into this ride, and I see all of the moving parts that need to work together for it to be just like a great, fantastic experience. For me, on this day, it was just kind of like subpar because it kept just stopping and going. So I didn't get that complete immersive feel that everyone talks about. I enjoyed, once we got in the trackless part of it at the end, I enjoyed kind of all the nips and turns and the little thrills. I enjoyed that part of it. I got the concept. I liked, you know, the fact that, you know, we're part of the resistance and these people are coming to take over, and, you know, we couldn't talk. I will say the cast members were great. Even between all of the malfunctions and breakdowns, they stayed in character and they were pretending to be, you know, part of the bad side. I'm sorry, I don't know. Babe, Kai, what is the bad people called in Star Wars? Like the people who were talking to us and they were like, we can't talk. They took over the ship. The First Order. They did not, you know, break character and just turn into Disney cast members, you know. They were like, do not speak. You may not sit here. Like, they were bossing us around. And like, to me, that was fun. I would say if you've never done Rise of the Resistance, try it. Be prepared for breakdowns. Try and get that lightning lane as soon as you can. If not, I have heard of people trying their luck at the end of the night, so getting in the standby line at the very end, and hopefully it doesn't break down and you can have a ride which is uninterrupted of malfunctions and just sun and heat and ugh. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to share a little bit of what we got up to at Hollywood Studios. Let me be completely honest with you. This is the first time that we have gone to Hollywood Studios as a family. I have always kind of looked at Hollywood Studios as a park for older children. So since we've had our kids and we've been going to Disney more frequently, we've only really hit up Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and which I love. Epcot's my favorite park, and Animal Kingdom. So those 3 we've gone to quite often. This is the first time we've taken the children to Hollywood Studios. And they have left Hollywood Studios saying, this is my favorite park. Everyone enjoyed their day. My 7-year-old son wants to go back. My 4-year-old, who I wasn't sure, she was kind of the one I was a bit iffy about. She loves Hollywood Studios, and maybe because her older brother was doing it, she was fine. She wasn't scared. I thought she would like be terrified by the First Order and the shooting and the planes blowing up, but she was just like, I'm okay. Oh, this is so much fun. So I think it really depends on your child. You know your child, if they're going to enjoy some of these more, I guess you could say, mature rides. But yeah, if you have a Star Wars fan on your hands, definitely check it out. There's a lot to do here for kids, even though it seems like from, I guess, first glance, there isn't. Once you go, you'll realize that this park is really appealing for people and children of all ages. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to you if you're wondering if Hollywood Studios is a good fit for you and your family. And be sure to be on the lookout for more travel content from me. We got up to quite a few things in Florida this summer, and I can't wait to share it. As always, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.